This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn more about Boss Rush Media's family of podcasts, head on over to bossrushmedia.com or patreon.com/bossrushmedia. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's popping?
Your hair's popping. That's what's going on.
You like my new hairstyle? You like?
Yeah, what's going on up there?
I know it's hard to see. Like it's all twisted.
Well, it looks nice, LeRon.
Thanks. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people told me this is like the best hairstyle that I've sported, which is crazy because when you guys first met me, like my hair was all like super short because I used to buzz it all the time, and then I grew it out during the COVID years and started trying to stylize it, and now I've gotten to this, and I love it actually.
Looks good.
Nice. Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Also, here
I do it all for y'all.
Also here, back is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Show me the champion of light, and I'll show you the herald of darkness.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but
I was like, huh?
I assume that's some sort of Alan Wake reference, but
yes, get with the program. Gosh,
no. Also here, speaking of darkness, is PK Power Pat Klein.
Oh, yep. We got to do a dance now.
Mm-hmm.
What?
We got to do the Alan Wake dance.
Mm-hmm. There's a dance.
Deep down.
They better play that at the Game Awards.
They are. You know they're going to.
They have to. It's like the most relevant song now in video games.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard it yet, so
sacrilege.
Okay.
There's a 9-minute version, then there's a 13-minute version. I recommend the 13-minute version because it's got like 4-minute guitar riff solos that melt your face.
That's too long. If it can't fit in a TikTok video, it's too long.
I mean, seriously, these guys are like right up there with Dragon Force on the guitar solos.
Yes. If anyone out there likes Dragon Force and that power metal type thing, even if you've never heard of Alan Wake 2, look up Herald of Darkness. It is so good.
But totally worth it.
Yes.
You know what? I'm with Corey. I'll take y'all's word for it.
Yep.
Lame.
Yep.
Lame.
Well,
I haven't played Alan Wake yet. Like Alan Wake will probably be a game I have to play sometime next year because I am devoted to like trying to finish like a lot of the games I started this year.
That's fine as long as you eventually play it, and we'll get to that when we talk about games we played.
I'm a big fan of the Alan Wake franchise. Like I own both the original 2 games.
Yeah, I don't think they consider American Nightmare a true Alan Wake game anymore.
Yeah, well, they can shut their whore mouths.
I've heard both things.
Mr. Scratch was the shit.
He was the shit. He was like the greatest villain of all time.
I don't know.
It's sad that Stephanie did not get to see that version of Scratch.
Maybe I'll watch a Let's Play.
Speaking of Let's Play.
Oh, no.
Let's talk about what we've been playing. I'm going to yield my time because I didn't play any games this week.
I can also yield my time.
Wow. Busy week.
All right, look. It's going to be an...
Well, last week put me through the ringer.
We bought a house, so I'm in purge mode.
That's fair.
Purging everything.
I heard
that backlog mode.
I heard the details on Nintendo Pow Block, so again, congrats.
Thanks. It's don't congratulate me. My wife did 95% of the work.
Congrats
I
to
clicked
Sauna.
some buttons. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway.
All right.
I guess it's going to be Alan Wake a 30-minute Alan Wake block.
15 minutes.
There's going to be at least another 20 minutes of Like a Dragon.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like, Pat has kind of more. I didn't see your list, but I always assume Pat has more. Oh, no, just one?
One game.
Oh, my gosh. It's literally going to be an Alan Wake and Like a Dragon discussion. All right. Who wants to go first? I don't care.
Go for it, Steph.
Okay. So.
You haven't talked yet all 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you might have talked about Alan Wake a little bit last week, or maybe you beat it even the week prior. So I was out last week because I was put through the ringer myself as well with work, but what primarily just kind of flipped the switch of me ended up not showing up was I was sick. My son gave me another germy cold, and I couldn't anyway. So I rolled credits on Alan Wake 2, and I know Corey hates Alan Wake, but I'm going to speak both objectively and personally. So personally, I was very surprised at how much I loved it compared to the first one. Again, it's not poo-pooing on the first one, but the first one was like, all right, I played it because it was a big deal back when it came out. I want to experience what everyone was talking about back then. This was at like this kind of level. I am a writer. I am an author. I am working on publishing my 5th novel. As a writer, playing a game about a writer, it just like, ooh, I loved it. All right, so got that out of the way. Overall, it is a fantastic game. At first, I thought it was kind of BS and just, I don't know who slipped the Game Awards people money to get them all 8 nominations. But once I beat the game, I get it, especially for narrative. I think visual, audio, like there's a few that I feel like 100%. Whether or not it's game of the year, we'll see what everyone else thinks, but it's definitely worthy of the several nominations. I've already gone over visually. It's beautiful. The sound, not just the Herald of Darkness, but all their chapter songs are great. The sound effects, like playing with the headphones, is spot on. It's amazing. It's spooky and it's got the jump scares, but not in a sense where I'm going to have terrifying nightmares at the end. A lot of personality. I love the characters. As far as the Scratch in this game, I think I'm okay with that character because I did not know the Mr. Scratch from the original game's DLC. It's DLC, right? Or was it like a?
Yeah, it was its own thing.
Yeah, it was a standalone technically.
Okay. So
it was an arcade.
Bless you.
Thing.
It had DLC and a standalone because American Nightmare.
The standalone was American Nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like a small game that was considered like an Xbox arcade.
Yeah.
Which was kind of an indie style back then.
Okay. So I feel that if I had played that and experienced the Mr. Scratch in that game, perhaps my opinion of the Scratch in this one would be less. But without that knowledge, I still didn't mind it because the Dark Presence, it's an entity. It's not a real person, but I liked it coming from a mind of an artist because it is purely egotistical. We've got this phenomenon existing beneath this lake, Cauldron Lake, that is so egotistical that it'll latch on and attract any artist to be able to make its dreams come true, where basically the world worships it for its creative genius. So again, like just coming from a writer, I'm like, oh my God, it's brilliant. And just like seeing all the flashes and imagery of Scratch in Alan Wake and also in Casey, like it's very powerful. I think it's the imagery and the sound that adds to the power of Scratch in this game. The things that I nitpick on that weren't so great is I've came across a few glitches, nothing game breaking. Like I took tons of screenshots where things were just floating in the middle of the air. I haven't seen that kind of stuff in a while. Not game breaking, but when you're really into it, then you're like, oh, it's a floating axe, a floating bloody axe. Okay, cool. Can I pick it up? Another was I don't feel like the boss fights were the best. They weren't great. I don't think Alan Wake's a game that prides itself on boss battles, so I guess it's okay. But no, I texted Pat about one called The Drowned Lady.
Yep.
When you get to that part where you actually fight her, I tried fighting strategically because it's supposed to be a survival horror game. I'm like, okay, pull out flares, because the previous boss, you need to knock out a bunch of like darkness orbs so they don't keep respawning. So I went to the battle with that. And she has two major attacks, one where she shoots waves at you and black orbs at you. Now, I thought with physics, if you hide behind concrete, the waves will not hit you. Well, the waves still hit me, and the orbs, they follow you, and the attacks are so strong. I got hit 2-3 times, and you're dead. So me trying to go through this more strategic, slower thought process, I died several times. So I'm like, all right, what if I just shoot her? So the 20th time I fought it, I just kept shooting her like crazy, and then I got the battle over in 5 minutes. It doesn't make for a fun boss fight, because I'm like, all right, what's the point of all this rigmarole if I'm just gonna just lay it all on her? Anyway, also there's a bit of conflict I have with the concept of survival horror versus action horror, and the way I kind of compare it to our games I played recently, which is Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. Okay, Resident Evil 2, survival horror, resources are scarce, you use them when you need them, right? And then Resident Evil 4 is action horror, so you get more ammo, you can use them a bit more liberally, and therefore I feel like the enemies can be a bit more of a challenge, so to speak, because you have the ammo to waste. With Alan Wake, a lot of the characters are really fast. Like, they just zip just everywhere, and there's no locking system, so I end up losing a lot of bullets, and I'm out of ammo. And I think the game fixes it where if you're on, I played on normal mode, it'll like somehow magically make these boxes of bullets appear later. But then Saga's reload animation takes forever. I think Eddie talked about that in Nintendo PAL Block. I agree with him. The reload animation, half the time I get knocked on my ass and have to start all over again. Like,
I felt the same way with Alan, because he had the revolver, and that took so long to fucking reload.
All right, because Pat is a much better gamer than I, so has anything I've said so far seemed legitimate, or is it a get good situation?
No, like the battle against the Drowned Lady, that's exactly how I beat her, was I just unloaded on her, especially after she stopped flying and started running. Like, it's like I couldn't even have time to heal, so I just took out my shotgun, used all the shells, took out the rifle, just started pummeling her with that, and eventually she fell.
Yeah, so it's a bit disappointing. Like I said, I just couldn't understand the balance of their attempt at survival horror when their enemy mix, I don't know, it seemed very challenging, like, because I came in, when I hear survival horror, I think resource management, but then you have these enemies that are just like zip-zagging in front of you, behind you, knocking you over without it's very hard. But with all that aside, I think the story was incredible. Lots of layers. It's a game that I actually do want to go back and play again because I know I missed some things. That's how good the story is. It was one of the few games where I wanted to find all the Alex Casey lunchboxes. I wanted to find all the cult stashes. I think the only thing that kind of hindered me was the fact that, I don't want to deal with the respawned enemies. But overall, it had a lot. And I never played Control, but now I want to play Control because there's so many Control references. I love Ati, the janitor. He's awesome. The ending was, in my opinion, great. I liked it because I'm like, now I can't wait for the DLC because there's so many questions I have, and I wonder which one they will address and which one maybe they won't. So with all that,
my thought on the ending was I thought it didn't land quite as well as the rest of the game. Like, just without going into spoilery territories, I felt like it took 2 steps back in the progress.
Well, speaking of spoilery, everyone needs to check out our next book club is Alan Wake 2, where Pat and I and guest will spoil the heck out of this game. So,
and we'll do it in song.
Yes, and dance, because we'll be on video.
And dance. Like really awkward choreographic dance that's like but we'll pretend we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Please do that. Please choreograph a dance.
Yeah. So all in all, I went into playing Alan Wake 2 thinking, all right, well, I'm just going to play a game that, I don't know, it's just a big fan favorite. And I left it once again having to rearrange my top games this year. First, it was like Tears of the Kingdom, Hogwarts Legacy, and then there was Final Fantasy 16, and then Resident Evil 4 kind of knocked them all down. And now I'm like, I think my personal, I don't know. I'm really struggling. I am very surprised how Alan Wake was and just how much I enjoyed it. And maybe genre and gameplay wise, I might still lean more towards a Hogwarts Legacy or Resident Evil 4. But I think if I look at this game objectively with quality, gameplay, visual, sound, story, when you put that all together, it's pretty damn good. So
it's crazy that every new game that Remedy comes out with just keeps getting better and better. Like they see the things that work with like the prior games and they continue to build on that.
Yeah. I can see the passion in this game. Also, I had fun reading the credits because at the end they listed probably like the devs like each individual like thank yous. And one of them, I should have taken a screenshot. One's like, making video games is hard. I'm like, oh, that poor guy or girl, whatever. So I know I probably put Corey to sleep, but I think objectively it is a high quality game. It's not just good because I like it and I'm a writer. It's high quality.
But if you never even get to play this game, we do highly recommend listening to the Old Gods of Asgard or their real counterpart, Poets of the Fall.
Yeah.
But Old Gods of Asgard, it's their more rockier version.
So good stuff. So
great music.
Going from one game to maybe another great game, I'm very curious to see what you have to say about Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon. Gaiden, which means side story, or also, or whatever. It doesn't mean whatever, but what it means is that it is a part of a game series that is not necessarily one of the main games, but it works in tangent with the main game. And Like a Dragon, Gaiden does just that. It takes the original protagonist in the Yakuza series, which is called Like a Dragon in Japan. We're finally getting the name changed to Like a Dragon instead of Yakuza. So really, this would have been called Yakuza Gaiden, but now it's Like a Dragon.
Do you think that's going to confuse some people at some point?
I think that's why.
Yeah.
I think that's why with the latest one, when they changed the main character to Ichiban, they wanted to change the name to Like a Dragon to differentiate itself. But going forward, everything's going to be called Like a Dragon. But this one brings back the original protagonist, Kiryu, or as he's known in this game, Joryu, because he erased his name. And a spoiler-ish for the for Yakuza 6, Kiryu kind of stumbles onto a conspiracy that like brings a very secretive government agency against him, and he's left with a choice. They offer him hush money, but he's did not want to always have to look over his shoulder, so he said, "I will die for you," and he essentially erases himself from history and goes into hiding at the end of 6. And so now we get to find out about 3 years later what's going on. He now works for that shadowy organization called the Daijo Doji, and they send him off on a periodic mission so that he can kind of earn their keep while they keep him in seclusion. And one of these missions happens to go array. I think that's the word.
Awry.
Awry. It goes awry. It was supposed to be a simple guarding of a smuggling mission, and it turns out that they were set up by a Yakuza group. And so now Joryu has to go and figure out why they were set up. Like, why were these Yakuza interested in the shadowy organization? So that's the primary setup of this. The gameplay is classic Yakuza. It is, you run into a bad guy, they tell you what it is, like street punk, Yakuza, gangster, and then you go up into like this brawling like battle system where you just punch and beat the living snot out of your opponent. You have two different styles of fight. You have the agent style where Joryu has gadgets that he can use with this fighting style. Agent style is a little more faster, but then he gets the things like his wire, which is a really cool gadget that wraps around the bad guys, and then he can use it to like toss bad guys into like different directions or into other bad guys. Then there are other things like drones that you can send off to like run into the enemies that you're facing. That's one style, and then the other style is his Yakuza style, which is his typical brawler where it hits harder, but you don't have the gadgets. But yeah, it hits a heck of a lot harder and has more of his signature moves that you're familiar with. The game, again, plays very much like a Yakuza game, where the story is deep. It's got very interesting characters. It is very dramatic. The side quests can get batshit crazy, and you can literally spend hours upon hours not even focusing on the main story and doing all the little side things, such as going to an arcade and playing classic Sega games. You can also go to a cabaret club. And this time, the cabaret clubs is a little different in that they are full motion video. You're talking to a real live person. Well, in the game, instead of like a character model. So, it's the same kind of cabaret where they ask you some questions and you have like three choices to answer, where one's a really good choice, one is an okay choice, and one is a bad choice. And you build up that affectionate meter until you finally get all the affection, and then you get a nice little spicy cutscene with them, which is added to the spiciness where they're now real instead of fake. So,
speaking of spicy, I see Zelda giving herself a bath behind you.
Yes.
That's not very ladylike, Zelda.
Oh, she don't care about being ladylike, right?
Right.
Right into the butthole. Yeah. And there's a ton of side quests. Like, one of the cool things about this one is that they're like the standard request side quests that have like a miniature story that goes along with it. And then there are even these bite-sized requests that you can just talk to someone on the street and they'd be like, oh, I would like to see a picture of this, or, oh, can you show me how you play, like, can you get a certain score in pool or golf or darts? Or there'll be other ones that would be like, hey, can you beat these people up for me? Just like small side quests that only take like a minute to do. So there is a lot to do. The location is Sodenbori this time, which is the primary location in Yakuza 2, as well as part location in Yakuza 0. So it's a nice little neighborhood that you go back to and you can remember again if you've ever played those. And they added a new region called the Castle, which is this very Vegas-style, neon lights everywhere, a golden castle at the end of like the street, and its primary feature is a Coliseum tournament, which serves as the main like side story of this game, is to like raise your rank up in this Coliseum. Because every Yakuza game has a side story that's basically like another game in it, and sometimes two. in the future Yakuza Infinite Wealth, it's supposed to be an Animal Crossing version of a side story.
What?
Yeah, you build up your own island. So,
man,
yeah. Now, I sent you guys the news this morning, but apparently the director himself came out and said that Yakuza Infinite Wealth is going to be monstrous. That he highly recommends that you do not sit and try and beat the game in a couple days because you're going to make yourself sick.
Oh wow.
And just to say, the Yakuza Like a Dragon, the one before, took over 100 hours just to do like the story and side quests. So if he's saying this is their most monstrous project, I can only imagine just how huge that game's going to be. Luckily, Like a Dragon Gaiden is more bite-sized. This is a game that I feel like I can platinum in 30 hours. So I would say to anyone who has never played a Yakuza game, this is actually the perfect jump point to get into it. You don't necessarily need to know the prior knowledge of Kiryu from games 0 to 6. The game gives you a great breakdown because otherwise you're going to be playing like 800 hours worth of video games just to get to that point. So the game's like, this is the most important events that you have to know about.
I could be wrong because I haven't played any Yakuza or Like a Dragon games. Almost seems like these are all like almost like a variety game, if that makes sense. Like there's so much like random shit that can be done in one game. Like there's still a plot, but it seems like there's so much.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
Like a Dragon Like a Dragon Yakuza, the last one, had a Mario Kart go-kart game in it. That you can play through it. You can play the entire Virtual 5 game in this game. Like, there's a hell of a lot to do besides the really good story and character animations. And you usually want to play this game in Japanese, just because it fits better. Especially when people start like yelling and they get like really excited.
Oh,
they start, But I love Like a Dragon Gaiden. Like, I love Kiryu. I love that he's back. I love what they did with the guy. Like, I'm going through the plot right now because I got through most of the side stuff, and he's gotten smart with age. So he's I like what they did with him. And I'm excited to see where he's going to go from the end of this game, which takes place during the events of Yakuza Like a Dragon. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, you can see the events that's happening in Like a Dragon mirroring this game. So that's kind of where it puts it in the timeline. But again, you don't need to play at any of the other games to fully enjoy this one. And if you want to get into the series, definitely check this one out. Then jump into Infinite Wealth, or even try Like a Dragon Yakuza, the one before it. Like, this is a good time to become a Yakuza fan.
Nice. I might have to bookmark this game then if it's going to be a more bite-sized version.
Yeah, like I said, not only can you platinum it in like 30 hours, you can actually platinum it without having to 100% the game.
Oh, there you go.
So it's going to be the first one I'm going to platinum for sure.
Nice.
Think
that'll be game number 40?
Maybe. That might be why it's the only game I played. Oh, I did see Miss Marvel this weekend.
Okay, how was that?
The Marvels?
Yeah, the Marvels. Sorry, thank you. The Marvels. You know what? It was actually pretty good, despite the fact that it did absolutely horrible in the box office this weekend. But I don't blame the movie itself for that. I blame the fact that the strike basically prevented it from marketing itself until like last minute.
Okay.
Did you hear what?
Yeah, the actors couldn't do their rounds to promote it. which was a terribly missed opportunity because like it could have shown the actual chemistry, that the actors would have each other. If they show it off screen, then like people would definitely have been more amped.
Yeah. No, the actress that played Miss Marvel, she is awesome, and I would have loved to have seen what she had been like on a tour with this, because she's a fangirl in real life, just like she is in the movie.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a great movie. It had some generally good moments in it. It probably also had the most horrific moment that somehow they turned it into a comedy. Like, it could have been a plot to a horror movie that's just that terrifying.
Oh.
But
well,
yeah, it involved the cats.
Wait, what did the Flurkin do this time?
Oh my gosh, you're right. It involves the Flurkin.
I knew it was the Flurkin.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it because it's just like your mouth is just open like they're doing this and yet they're making it funny. Like it's like if the aliens, like if you watched Alien but it was a comedy.
All right, now I need to see this. See, like I forgot this movie was coming out.
How the hell do we make the Xenomorphs funny?
that's it. If you can make it funny, that's what this movie did. But yeah, the chemistry between the three main characters and Nick Fury is great. I like that it tied in several of the TV shows together, except for it didn't seem to have anything with Secret War. Like I would expect,
which is wild.
But
I haven't seen the movie. I'm talking like I've seen it.
Yeah, no, like I feel like this was supposed to come out before Secret War did, but I'm not sure anymore. Like just because of how they delayed things and moved things all around. But there weren't any like tie-ins with the Secret War, but there were tie-ins to other things like WandaVision and Miss Marvel. And then it also ties in some other universes.
I know. I watched the end credit scene already. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it got me really excited.
All right, that's it. I'm going to go watch it. But see, that's what I mean. Like, even advertising, like, I forgot that this movie came out. So, I'll have to check it out. Thanks for sharing that. Almost, it reminded me, and let me know when you're done, because after that, I want to talk about a movie that I saw.
Okay. Yeah. Also, Loki. Check it out. The second season was amazing.
I need to finish Loki.
Oh, that last episode's gonna break your heart, bro. It's that good. It can make you feel
feelings.
Feel feelings that you never thought you could feel. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, I forgot that I saw Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I liked it because it's like it's a rated T for teen horror movie. So like I'm a wuss. I can't handle really, really horror movies. So this is like my level. No, it's great. They had a lot of great Easter eggs. They did a great job with it. The little bit that they had to work with, I felt like they stayed mostly true to the overall lore. Obviously, there's a little bit of tweaks there, and the jump scares that they had, like with Balloon Boy, is actually pretty funny. So I liked it. I really liked it.
I enjoyed the movie, but I really felt like it was lacking.
There could have been more.
And I don't know, like I saw the plot twist coming a mile away.
Oh yeah. Which that guy, Lillard, Matthew Lillard.
Yep.
Matthew Lillard, yeah.
Dude, I almost didn't recognize him in the beginning. I'm like, holy crap!
I know, right? I know, right? Is it just old or is he mature? Like,
he's getting older.
I know. So just
he's got to be in his late 40s now.
Well, I remember him back. Oh man. Anyway,
with Scream.
Yeah, we won't go that
Scream.
But I don't want to spoil FNAF, but I will say he did a really great job with his acting. Like he really.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's 53.
Oh, I don't like hearing that.
Oh my God, he's older than I am. I thought we were probably in the same, like, well, I mean, technically he's only 4 years older than me. So
we're gonna stop talking about this now. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, he played a teenager in Scream during the same time we were in high school.
Yeah.
Then again, Allison Hannigan played a teenager when she was 28 years old in American Pie.
I loved him. I loved him in 13 Ghosts. 13 Ghosts and SLC Punk. I loved him in those movies. I mean, he was kind of a super douche, and She's All That.
I love that movie.
What'd you say, Corey?
I said I love that movie.
Oh,
that's right.
You said it so low. Right? You said it so low. I thought you said something else.
Oh no, I'm just really far away from my microphone. I was sitting back. So, well, since we're done with the games and the movies, I watched like 3 007 movies this weekend. That was fun.
Which ones?
Nice.
Four of them actually. All the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Oh, okay. What?
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great James Bond dude, but the other 2 movies are like the last 2 movies he did are really bad.
Yeah. Which I was going to ask you, which of the Brosnan films are your favorite?
I like Tomorrow Never Dies a lot, which is the second one. GoldenEye's okay. And then
that was my second favorite.
My favorite was The World Is Not Enough.
I like that one too, to an extent. And then Die Another Day with Halle Berry is just terrible.
Yeah.
Now, you can also consider the secret fifth one, Everything or Nothing. The video game.
I know.
The original video game where he went up against Willem Dafoe.
Mm-hmm. That game's awesome.
That game is like better than some Bond movies.
Yeah, most Bond movies. Let's be honest.
I mean, come on. It was Pierce Brosnan, Shannon Elizabeth as a Bond girl, and Willem Dafoe as the villain.
Yeah, that's amazing. Why didn't they just make it a movie?
Exactly.
Oh man, Agent Under Fire was pretty good too.
You know, I didn't play that one. I did Nightfire, and I didn't care for that one.
I liked them, but GoldenEye Rogue Agent was not very good.
No.
Can we just talk about James Bond video games?
Yes, we did.
No, I mean, can we?
Oh, can we?
No, we can't.
GoldenEye Reloaded was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
From Russia with Love, that was one, right?
Yeah, that was the
where
one.
They brought back Sean Connery.
Yeah, and he actually did the voice for the character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't actually play that one, but I wanted to because of that.
It's weird. It's more of like a real spy game. It's third person. It kind of reminds me a little bit of I was going to say Alpha Protocol a little bit, but it's not RPG-y. It's just like the way it moves and feels.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Man, Alpha Protocol is really good too. Xbox owns that IP now, I think.
I thought that was Sega.
Obsidian developed it. Well, maybe Sega does.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe Sega owns some part of it. Maybe you're right. Anyways, enough about that.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Protocol is really good. Not backwards compatible, though, for some reason. Anyways.
So, Video Game Awards.
Yeah, we'll go into that. Video.
Okay, we're getting right into it. All right.
Yeah, Video Game Awards. So the nominees were announced the week we are recording this. Of course, if you're a patron, you're hearing it, a week or two after that. So surprise. But the nominees were announced, and yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of we're going to go Game of the Year right off the bat. What do you guys think of the Game of the Year nominees, which were Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2 was the last one?
And RE4.
Yeah.
Oh, and RE4. You're
right. A lot of numbers here. I will say right off the bat, and this is not an insult to the game, it's just given the sheer number of games that came out this year that were great, I'm surprised Mario Brothers Wonder made the Game of the Year list, only because we've got the Final Fantasy 16, Dead Space remake. I know I'm missing like one other really big one. Why am I forgetting it? But anyway,
Diablo 4.
Yes, Diablo 4 and Starfield. Starfield got snubbed.
Well, I don't.
I think the biggest.
I have thoughts on that. Like, I will say Starfield did get snubbed, but I have thoughts on about why Starfield didn't make it. Starfield basically is pulled this time what Cyberpunk pulled a couple of years ago at the Game Awards. It came out. It wasn't exactly what people expected. It had problems and things like that. And even though it was a most anticipated game, it was a most anticipated game. Like a lot of the shortfalls or shortcomings for the game, like basically hurt it.
Makes sense.
That's also why Hogwarts Legacy isn't in the Game of the Year contender. As a matter of fact, Hogwarts Legacy isn't
snubbed
even
every category.
I think that
it's
a political thing.
Yeah, it totally was a.
You think it was a political thing?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
They want to avoid anyone.
Do you know how incestual the game industry is? Of course, it was a political thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it stinks, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean, as long as people buy the game and the devs are supported, that's fine.
It's gonna be political when we have Activision, Blizzard, and Ubisoft games. Like I that's bullshit.
But I feel like that's the whole thing about things being political. People pick and choose what they want to be political about at whatever time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
It's whatever's popular at the time, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of what's popular. Most of the time, right? I mean, obviously there are definitely certain no, we're not crossing that line, but
right. But anyway, so sorry, I just want to jump in with that first take with Wonder is an amazing game. I just was not expecting it to be a Game of the Year in its nominee. I expect nominations in other categories, but for this, I was like, oh, okay.
I don't think it's going to win. I also think so. Two things. I'm surprised Resident Evil 4 is on this list because it's a remake. And I think it is still, unlike something like Resident Evil 2 or 3, it's still relatively similar to the source material, right? That would be my opinion. Also, I think Star Wars got snubbed.
Star Wars did get snubbed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I forgot that also came out too. Wow.
Yeah. I think the reason why Starfield and Final Fantasy 16 weren't on this list is because they're too divisive. I think the people that love those games love them, and I think the people that don't like them really don't like them.
Interesting.
I mean, it's crazy that they had Final Fantasy's almost every award before had Final Fantasy 16 on it. Final Fantasy 16
for most anticipated.
And then all of a sudden they're after what? I think they had 8 awards. They're like, okay, we're done. You're not getting best direction or best narrative or even best game of the year.
Yeah.
But you're getting best everything else.
My thing with Final Fantasy is that I think true Final Fantasy people wanted some sort of resemblance of a JRPG.
More like turn-based, Japanese, not action.
Well, not just that, but even a Japanese-inspired action role-playing game, and this is way more action than RPG, which I do agree with, but also what I played was really awesome. So,
no, it should at least have gotten nominated for Best Direction or Best Director. I feel,
but I'm a little shocked that Spider-Man is on this list. To be honest,
why are you shocked?
Yeah,
it made the deadline.
It's a good game.
I'm just shocked that I thought people were going to put other games on here, except I guess everybody loves Spider-Man. But
Spider-Man's the best superhero game out there.
But I don't know.
Until the Suicide Squad comes out, or shall I say,
did you see
Fortnite?
Speaking of Suicide Squad, did you see that WB announced that Wonder Woman is a game as a service now?
Mm-hmm. They're doubling down.
I did not see that.
Yep. I'm like, who else is in it? You gonna be the World War II, World War I pilot that dies? What's his name? Trevor something? I don't know. I fell asleep during that movie. I didn't really care for it. I was like, somebody put a woman in Captain America.
Well, I not to sound cliche, and I definitely have not been a hardcore gamer all my life just because of finances and how my parents view on video games. But from the humble bit of years I've played up until recent years, personally, 2023 might be the best year in gaming for me. Again, this is not to make a statement or a declaration.
It's definitely in the conversation. I mean, I think you would put it in there with like 2007, which was Mass Effect and BioShock, and
2018, which was
Gears
God of War
2 and
Red Dead Redemption.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, one of the best years in gaming. Say.
It's definitely in the conversation.
I agree. This is like probably the best.
This year, this year was a wonderful year for gaming. Yeah, this is a wonderful year.
So, what do you think?
A wonderful year for gaming that I barely played.
What game of the game of the year that you would pick, and then which one do you think would actually win? So, for example, I might want Alan Wake 2 to win, but I think in the end, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win.
Out of these 6 games,
yes,
Zelda for sure.
Yeah, okay.
No doubt.
Zelda. Zelda is what you want, or Zelda's going to win?
Zelda's what I would pick out of these 6 games.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate, I think, is going to win.
Pat,
I thought Baldur's Gate was going to be too niche, but
apparently not.
I think I mean, it pretty much swept the golden joystick.
The way,
so.
yeah.
Alan
Pat,
Wake was nominated
what
for
say
Game
you?
of the Year for that before it even came out. So
I think out of this list, I would like Super Mario Brothers Wonder to win. Just because I had a lot of fun with that, but I'm also in the game of it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Okay. And I am team Tears of the Kingdom. Shocker. That's the one I think should get the award, but I believe it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3 that's going to win.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think the only reason why Zelda's not going to win is that I feel like even though a lot of people loved it and it got 10s across the board pretty much, I think a lot of people feel like I did, where like I feel like this is just more of the same, whereas Baldur's Gate has really kind of revolutionized the CRPG in some fashion, and
you can do anything and almost everything in that game.
Yeah. And it kind of did what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda when it came out, right? So
well,
that would be my opinion.
If Zelda does not win Game of the Year, it's definitely going to win any of the subsequent ones. Like it might win Best Action Adventure or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to win Nintendo Game of the Year. I think Mario Wonder is going to get Nintendo Game of the Year.
By Nintendo, you mean family friendly?
Wait, Nintendo doesn't have its own separate category?
None of the platforms have their own separate categories.
What the fuck is Jeff?
Jeff doesn't.
This is why I don't like your ass, Jeff Keighley.
Well, Jeff
you do dumb shit like this.
He's getting hit with a lot of flack lately. It's like he's trying to be as neutral as possible, and it's hurting him because of it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, last Game Awards, he didn't have a single female, and that everyone's like, dude, what the hell? What the hell? You're supposed to promote female in gaming. He didn't have any female co-host or any presenters come out that were female, and the people who came up were also.
Wait, I thought there was a chick that ran the entire pre-show.
I don't think she did it last year.
Oh, Sydney? Yeah, she did. She
did last year.
She ran the entire pre-show.
Listen, can I just say something very unpopular opinion?
And that pre-show was that pre-show was what, 90 minutes long, wasn't it?
Sure. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Listen, as a female, it bothers me that people bitch and complain about this. If they ever prove in writing or in recordings that Keeley or anyone is actively excluding females or any other whatever, then yes, that's a problem. But just because we didn't shove down everyone's throats females and other things, I'm sorry, that shit bothers the fuck out of me. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on.
No, I think it was definitely out of omission. I don't think he intended it, but
I don't think he.
Yeah. But then you also have the whole Grand Theft Auto 6, which now he's how heavy is security going to be this time, because he had 2 stage runners in a row, and this is probably where Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be showed.
Nah. Why would Rockstar? Nah.
Why? Because they said they're going to release a trailer in December.
Yeah, I bet I think Rockstar is too big for the Game Awards, in my opinion.
Yeah. Rockstar's going to do their own thing with GTA 5.
6.
I'm sorry, 6. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I say it's.
I'm sorry. I was looking at something. and literally the number 5 was on the screen.
Who knows? Maybe it's another GTA 5.
They didn't say GTA 6 though. They said the next entry in Grand Theft Auto,
which is funny. Yeah, it could
Grand Theft Auto 5 remastered.
Grand Theft Auto 4 remastered.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna. It's going to come out around the Game Awards, but I think it's going to be its own thing. I think they're just going to drop a trailer, like similar to what Nintendo does, and it's going to break something.
Well, now also one of the big things is the indie category, and there's a couple games.
Are we just skipping around?
Well, I'm just saying, like, in terms of controversy, because they nominated Dave the Diver as indie, and people are like, that's not
it's not an indie game.
Yeah. Exactly, because it's made by...
It's got big money behind it as the publisher.
Wait, who made it?
Nexon.
Oh.
Okay. Nexon.
Interesting. Well, since we're on it, so best independent game, we've got Cocoon, Dave the Diver. I didn't even realize.
That's another one that people are arguing should not be there because it's got veteran. It basically was a company before that got split.
Annapurna also published it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are mad because a lot of these games have publishers, like a bigger Thunderful published Viewfinder.
Yeah. This starts the conversation like. What's making indies now? Is it because like they look and feel a certain way, or is it because they are, or is it because like I don't look at because like professional studios make indie looking games all the time. For example, what was the fucking game that was basically like a Twilight, like a Breath of the Wild clone from Ubisoft? You know the one I'm talking about.
Immortal Phoenix Rising something.
Yep.
Yeah, that looked like a fucking indie game, even though like Ubisoft was behind that shit.
I'll do you one even better. Pentiment last year, from Obsidian.
Yes.
Also, speaking of definition, right? So it's all by how we define it. Everyone has their own definition of indie, but technically, if you're on the Game Awards website, it is a bit incriminating, so to speak, because the way they define best independent game is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the only one that succeeds there is Sea of Stars. Everyone else has a publisher.
Yep. Sabotage also published that.
Yeah. So by proxy, Sea of Stars wins.
And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that. Like as a matter of fact, Sea of Stars gets my vote.
Yeah.
I mean, Cocoon was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like the idea and the puzzles behind Cocoon are like they're refreshingly thought provoking.
Did you play Viewfinder, Pat?
I did not.
Is that the one where you take pictures?
You take pictures and you use the pictures you take to change the environment and solve puzzles.
That is on my list. I want to play that.
It was on PlayStation Plus, I think.
Yeah, of course.
At one point.
I let that expire. Whoops.
Yeah. I downgraded mine to just the lowest tier. I might cancel mine altogether after I finish.
Well, I'm sure they'll offer a Black Friday deal on membership, as they always do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there like another category you want to tap? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I wasn't really saying anything. I was just making a noise to kill the dead air.
Oh, well, do we want to maybe, for example, so we don't exhaust every category, but maybe do a couple, maybe each one of us picks a category and we'll talk about the games that are in it?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that.
Who wants
I want to talk about best esports coach.
Okay.
You do.
I really don't want to do that. I'm going to choose most anticipated game.
Ooh, let's see.
Okay.
And I want to know what games are missing from this list.
All right, so what is it?
Jesus.
Okay, so it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
Okay, I can tell you those last two games, Star Wars Outlaws and Tekken 8, are nowhere close to being contenders. Like I personally am looking forward to Tekken 8. I participated in both the last two betas for Tekken 8, and I will be getting it when it launches in January. But all that aside, like I know for sure a fighting game that doesn't start with the name Street and end with the word fighter is not going to win the most anticipated game.
You know, Street Fighter is like the 4th best-selling fighting game series.
Yeah.
My most, I mean, Star Wars Outlaws is my most anticipated game next year so far. Although it just got rumored that it's delayed, so.
I think it's cool that Hades 2 made it, but I don't think it'll win. I would say Final Fantasy Rebirth, maybe?
Yeah, I would say Final Fantasy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would love it to be Yakuza, but it's probably Rebirth.
Yeah. My two to win this would be Final Fantasy 7 and Hades 2 would be the ones that'll fight this out.
I love how Jeff Keighley introduced this category as, now remember, this has to have been officially announced, which immediately scratches off the Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Which clearly is the most anticipated game.
I hope they
never announced.
If Grand Theft Auto is shown at the Game Awards, I hope the trailer drops right before this category, because that would be hilarious.
That would be.
Yeah. You know what they need to do if it is shown at the Game Awards?
Just slide another thing up into this category.
They should bring in Bill Clinton to announce it.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. That'd be really hilarious. He probably would do it.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but here's Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yes, I'm sure the Clinton administration, who was very against violence in video games in the 90s, would love to present Grand Theft Auto.
Rockstar's got that money.
Oh, yeah.
They'll buy it.
Does anyone have a game that's not on this list?
I don't even remember what's coming out. What's coming soon?
Yeah, I don't even know what's coming out next year.
I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised because didn't we have like unannounced games like on the last few, like for example, before Tears of the Kingdom was actually a realized game? Wasn't like the next Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel? Wasn't that a game that was taking up space on the most anticipated game list?
Yep, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, I think it was what it was called.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was announced that the sequel was being made. They just didn't call the game its name until like the very end.
Do you think?
Well, saying a game is being made is not the same as announcing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had trailers. They just never told us what the title was.
I think the one game I think that should maybe be on this list that's not, and I'm kind of surprised that it's not a little bit, although it is a smaller game, is Hellblade 2.
I was going to say Hellblade 2, or how about Fable? The Fable.
Fable could. Well, I don't think Fable's coming out next year.
But does it necessarily? Well, I mean, I guess it's implied it's next year, but they technically announced it, and there was technically a trailer.
Yeah, Fable.
Because if they did that, then why not put Silksong there?
Oh my God!
Unless, of course, that's one of the Game Award announcements. Is it's out now?
Yeah.
Every indie direct, every showcase, all the chats like Silksong.
Oh, speaking of,
why is that not the most anticipated?
I don't know.
Maybe because it's coming out this year.
Speaking of, so they're supposed to be releasing Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox kind of imminently.
Series S.
Imminently, and I think they're going to shadow drop it at the Game Awards. That'd
be
guess.
Cool.
Because they're supposed to announce their DLC at the Game Awards, supposedly, for Baldur's Gate, which comes out early next year.
Okay.
I think that would be a good way to get people excited.
Do you think this is a big enough? I would think it would be big enough. How about Silent Hill 2 remake?
It could go
there.
That
should have been on the list. That should have been on the list.
I don't think it would win, but it could definitely make the list.
Yeah, it should have been on the list, yeah.
I don't think this would ever make any kind of list like this, but the final shape for Destiny also comes out next year. Guys, this is the final season of Destiny.
I was going to say it's the last one, so it's fair, you know.
The season that starts in 2 weeks is the final season of Destiny before the final shape comes out, and then they're getting rid of seasons. They're making episodes now, which
are those like
on paper look kind of similar. Except there's 3 of them a year instead of 4. So I don't know.
All right.
Okay, so I'm looking at a list of like the games that we know are coming out in 2024. And let's see. The Prince of Persia Lost Crown game that comes out in January.
That game's gonna be cool.
I don't think that
Persona 3 Reload is in February. Helldivers 2 is in February. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remaster. I don't think that's going to count. Mario vs. Donkey Kong though.
No.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong though. Well, after the announcement, I saw people get really like foamy mouth about that.
I mean, I want it, but I don't think it would have been big enough for the list. I don't.
Assassin's Creed. Oh wait, never mind. That doesn't matter. No.
Assassin's Creed Red.
No, Mirage. I saw iOS and I was like, never mind. I thought it was Assassin's Creed Red actually. Let's see what else. Yeah, everything else looks kind of middling at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would have put Fable if it's more than a year, but
okay,
Fable's not even on any of these lists.
It's not coming out next year. I think that's a 2025 game.
They could have made a joke and put Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
By the way, speaking of BioWare, LeRon, side tangent, what do you think of the Mass Effect thing that they showed?
They're doing the same thing that made me worry about with this. That they did with Andromeda that made me start worrying.
Yeah,
the sleek helmet.
I mean, the character
looks badass. To be fair,
the character looks badass. Yes, the character looks badass. But the problem is that they announced the game 2 years ago,
3 years ago,
and this is 3 years ago, and this is the first tangible thing we saw on it, and it wasn't even anything. What was it, like 11 seconds?
Yeah,
I don't even think it's going to be in the game. I think they literally just made the trailer.
That's exactly what I told my roommate. I was like, they showed us a video clip, and I doubt it even be in the game.
I doubt they even have gameplay or anything made on this game yet.
Jeff Grubb reported that it might not even come out till 2029 because it's all hands on deck for Dragon Age right now.
And we don't even have gameplay of Dragon Age.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. But I'm not gonna say BioWare is like my team, but for a person that really because I didn't get on the BioWare bandwagon until Jade Empire.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, so good. Where's the sequel to Jade Empire?
Until Jade Empire, and in all honesty, I didn't flock the Mass Effect. When it first came out, I had interest in it, but I didn't have enough interest to buy an Xbox 360.
Man, it's
what happened to those days where you can churn out a sequel in 3 years?
I mean, if you think about it, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, The Last of Us, and Uncharted 4 all came out within 2 years of each other.
In the same console cycle.
Yeah. Well, Uncharted 4, I guess, was later because it got delayed, but it was supposed to come out within 2 years after The Last of Us.
You know what? They need to stop making new engines. Just stick with an engine, reuse the assets.
It was so nice when we got Uncharted 4 and then we got Lost Legacy, a year and a half later?
Lost Legacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not like that game's ugly by any means.
No, hell no.
Game's amazing looking. Still.
I don't need horse testicles that shrink in the cold. I don't need that level of detail. Just make me a fun game.
Well, maybe to some people, that's their idea of a fun game, Pat. Don't yuck people's yum.
Well, you know what? If you get shrinking horse testicles, then that means you have to make your own damn coffee, too. That's how realistic we're going.
Then you got to dip the testicles in your coffee.
Make sure you blow on it first.
Oh, God.
Next category.
I want to go with best performance.
Oh, let's take a look at who we got here.
Best performance.
Ben Starr.
Best performance. Yep. That's my winner right there.
Final Fantasy 16.
Cameron Monaghan.
Wait, where is it?
For Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Idris Elba for Cyber. Idris Elba's going to win. I'm just going to say that right now.
Ben Starr won the Golden Joystick, but he is going against Idris Elba, which is, He's going against a AAA actor.
Well, you want to know what? You want to know why I say Idris Elba is going to win over everybody else? Because this is Jeff Keighley's fucking award show. That's why he's going to win. Now, that being said, it's probably going to be a slap fight between Ben Starr, Idris Elba, and Yuri Lowenthal.
Yuri Lowenthal, who is he in Spider-Man 2?
He's Spider-Man.
He's Peter Parker.
Okay, I don't play the game, so okay.
I mean,
girl, you better buy that game and play it on your Steam Deck.
To be fair, he's been Spider-Man for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, the other ones, and I feel bad. Melanie LeBird is Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2. She did a great job, but I don't think she's going to stand a chance against these other people.
Yeah, like
female in
she
the
did
category.
Like I like her in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, she's good. And then we got Neil Newbin from Baldur's Gate 3.
He's going to be a fighter. People like his character. I say the underdog in this one's Cameron.
Cameron?
Okay. See, man, I feel like I mean he would actually be my pick for this category because I think he makes Star Wars Jedi, that series. I think he makes that performance believable.
You could take his character and make it a live performance, and he'd still be just as awesome.
Mm-hmm. Which is the rumor. Supposedly, he might be in one of these movies, like the Thrawn movie or something. No, it's too late. The whatever the next thing after Obi-Wan is in the timeline.
I'm thinking Idris Elba will win. I don't think because Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty I don't think really will win whatever other nominations it has. Not that it has many. And not that that's an actual tried and true rationale.
I think it has 4 nominations.
There's a few, yeah.
And that's surprising because it's a DLC.
So,
well, The Witcher's DLC got nominated for Game of the Year and won that year.
Did it?
Yeah.
Was that a good year for games?
I don't know. What 2017?
But I like
2016, 2017. I don't know.
I feel like it would go to Ben Starr.
Okay.
Just because Ben Starr makes his personality known. Like, not only was he a pretty good voice actor, like he's gets around in the communities. Like he puts out his Twitter videos and his TikToks, and he's a huge gaming nerd as well. So
he did make a very good Mario impression for the movie.
Did you see the one where he and Doug Cockle were doing their voices together?
No, I only
Doug
saw.
was the voice of Witcher.
No,
Geralt the Witcher.
No.
Yeah, and then they're having a fight, and how Doug's like, "I got 2 swords," and Clive's like, "Well, mine's bigger."
I love it. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes of hilarity of Doug Cockle and Clive and Ben Starr just doing the gruff voices.
Nice. LeRon, what category do you want to tackle?
Let's see. You know what? Let's look at best adaptation.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, so best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adopts a video game to another entertainment medium. We have, and I'm gonna go from last to first. we have Twisted Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that would be my pick in this category.
The Super Mario Brothers movie
did.
The Last of Us, the Gran Turismo movie, and then we have Castlevania Nocturne. All right, so I have not seen Castlevania Nocturne. I need to watch Gran Turismo, and I need to finish Twisted Metal. But I will say this: from everything that I've seen, I say immediately, The Last of Us, Super Mario, and Twisted Metal are the front runners.
I would say The Last of Us has a lock on this.
I think so too.
Yeah, I would think so,
too.
but I hear so many great things about Castlevania. I almost feel like that's going to be.
Castlevania is not going to do it.
No, it's not big enough.
Plus, it's not this Castlevania. It's the other one.
The other
one. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Fired. If you brought in Castlevania Season 2 or Castlevania Season 4, Those ones were amazing.
I see.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would say Super Mario has a chance because it's recognized all around, where Last of Us is primarily an adult show. Mario was meant for both kids and adults.
Yeah, but The Last of Us is also the second highest debut on HBO ever, aside from Game of Thrones, some Game of Thrones season.
That's impressive.
But Mario also broke the first billion of the year.
I know.
LeRon, did you say you started watching Gran Turismo?
Yes.
How?
It's good. It's good. It's good from what I've seen. Like I need everyone listening right now to not take this seriously when I say this. I fell asleep watching Gran Turismo, but that's my own damn fault because I usually watch all these movies and TV shows in my room on that bed right there, and that bed is way too fucking comfortable.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it, but I must give it credit for the fact that they were able to make a movie out of a racing game. Like, I know there's story behind it, but sometimes like it's hard enough to make a video game adaptation movie or series, let alone a racing one.
They made an adaptation out of Twisted Metal, and like there's barely a story for Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal is awesome though.
Twisted Metal is fucking awesome. Like I'm halfway through the series.
Yeah, remember when that first showed up and people were like, what the hell is this? This is not going to be...
Yes.
That's exactly what I said.
Will voice on Joe the Samoa.
I think I said that on this show, LeRon. Twisted Metal is going to suck. It ended up...
Watch as Corey now eats his hat.
I did not make that.
Like Corey burned through the series. Like I was shocked how fast he watched the series.
I watched it in 2 days. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was shocked how fast you went through it.
I mean, it makes it easy when there's only 8 episodes and they're all half-hour long.
And they're all there.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing who comes out on top, but I'm thinking Last of Us. Now I'm almost kind of leaning toward Gran Turismo just from what you guys talking about, but...
Gran Turismo is good, but I don't think Gran Turismo has a chance.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it does.
Out of actual theater nominations, I would put Mario before Gran Turismo.
All right.
Yeah, same here.
I think out of all these,
I enjoyed.
Oh, sorry, LeRon. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say I enjoyed the Mario Brothers movie, but then again, like in all honesty, looking at this, like they like the Mario Brothers movie, they played very safe, and I know a lot of people had doubts about Illumination Studio doing it. Chris Pratt being Mario, stuff like that. But the movie, in all honesty, was fun. It was entertaining. It was fine, but also it was safe.
Yeah.
Because just thinking about this, right? The whole thing with everybody remembers the preview scene where Bowser shows up at the Penguin Land and stuff like that. And if we had known that was the opening of the film back then when we first saw it, we'd have been like, what the fuck?
Oh, I kind of assumed it was going to be the opening, to be honest. I thought that...
Oh, you thought it was going to be the opening?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like not so much the climax, but kind of like, like somewhere in the middle.
I'm surprised at how much I did not like the Mario movie.
Like
I went in going, this is probably going to be fine. It's an animated kids movie. But gosh, dude, there were too many. Like, I enjoy a good Easter egg, but God, like the whole middle of the movie was Easter eggs. There was the Smash Brothers thing. There was the Mario Kart stuff. There was Luigi's Mansion nod. Like, there are, and that's aside from like every other thing. Like, okay, the guy from Wrecking Crew being their boss was funny. Okay, I thought that was funny. But man, there were too many Easter eggs in this movie,
and they're even pulling from other franchises that were not necessarily Mario adjacent.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the cast was great.
Casting was great.
It didn't do any, like, if I never see this movie again, it'll be fine with me. Like
Debbie Downer.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it one more time just to see if I missed something the first time. And when I say miss something, I mean like just Easter eggs or something. Yeah.
There's a lot of Easter eggs. I looked them up afterwards. There's a lot, and it like some of them are really fun, and some of them are just like okay.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they tried a little too hard with it. Well, not too hard, because too hard would have actually like killed the movie for me. But they were trying a lot.
Yeah. They should have spread the Easter eggs out over like 3 movies.
And you see, and this is why I have like a fear for the Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah, I know. God.
This is why I have a fear because I feel like it's gonna be all fan service and not enough substance.
I don't know. But it's a live action. I feel like they're really gonna stuff a bunch of I think it's a little easier to stuff a bunch of Easter eggs in an animated movie. Just saying.
Yeah. Also, Avi Arad, who destroyed all the Spider-Man movies, is the producer on this movie, and that really scares me.
Destroyed.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, not very good.
Hey,
Spider-Man 3, not very
good.
He was the executive producer of No Way Home, which is considered the best of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but
and the last of them.
But let's see. Amy, what's her name? The executive at Sony who runs the Spider-Man franchise for them kind of did more work than he did. Also, I'm sure Marvel had a heavy hand in this to say what direction it went.
That was like his executive role versus his producer role. Like, that was the one he was credited executive. So his decisions on that one were more heavy, I feel.
Maybe.
Listen, you didn't like the Mario movie. You're not excited about the Zelda movie.
Nah, I'm not. These are video games. They're not movies. Get them out of here.
Speaking of video games, the one I think would make an interesting discussion as well is Best Art Direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. We've got Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. And I gotta tell you, just from what I've heard and seen, I think that objectively Hi-Fi Rush would have earned this because of its just unique and beautiful art style. But I don't know.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. Give me 1 second here. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk got snubbed. I'm sorry. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk got snubbed.
Yep.
The Jet Set Radio freaking successor. That game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that each one of these games is a very distinctive style of how they use their art. So I honestly cannot say, okay, I think it's Alan Wake, but I honestly, it's like you're putting apples to oranges on this one.
True.
Yeah, just how different these games are.
I would agree that Alan Wake's probably going to win this. I would have taken Mario Wonder or Hi-Fi Rush over this because I think Mario Wonder's animations by themselves are worth it, aside from everything that's going on in the levels. But I think Alan Wake's going to win this. I think Liza P might have a shot at this, actually.
I think it's Alan Wake because of how the game plays with many different forms of media. Like, you have your in-game, but while the in-game is happening, you also have like live action in the background with like the Casey monologues that were going on and stuff. And then you also have like the live action. I mean, the whole Alan Wake Chapter 4 thing, the Now We Sing, like, that's just like literally taking every form of media you can think of and throwing it in one damn level.
Yeah, but would that be best art direction or best game direction? These two categories should just be the same thing. Jeez.
Well, I will kind of cut the easy one out, and I hate saying this as a Zelda fan. I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be it because it's the same as Breath of the Wild.
It's not graphically striking.
Like, it's beautiful, but it's not new or.
Well, when we compare it to the other Nintendo game that's on here, Super Mario Wonder, it's no competition.
Exactly. So I could say that's kind of, I hate to say it, at least for this category, like Tears of the Kingdom's easy. Like, that's not going to win.
I'm going to tell Eddie you said that.
No. I love you, Zelda.
Liza P looks good. But I think I don't think it's in the right place. I feel like Liza P should have definitely. I think Final Fantasy 16 should have been on this list before Liza P got there.
Yeah, I could see that.
Final Fantasy 16 is a beautiful game.
It is.
Beautiful game.
Oh man.
And we talk about art direction with all the fucking battles with the summons and with the Aeons.
I was going to say the icons. I was going to say that. Yep. Ooh.
Yeah.
Each one was beautiful.
Yeah, you're telling me that's not art direction? Shut the fuck up, please.
I mean, that's all like camera work and fun stuff like that. That's art.
Mm-hmm.
Video games are art.
Mm.
I said it.
Good times. Good times.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's just kind of a reminder that, oh crap, we're in mid-November. Thanksgiving's next week. The Game Awards will be here very shortly. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
So
yeah.
I will say, if we're ending this, the one game I'm actually extremely happy for, Games have been packed, A Space for the Unbound. I am really, really happy that game has been nominated for at least that category, and that's my hope to win.
Games of Impact. I want to see, because there's another game that I played in there that also was Chia.
And Venba.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, I'm so happy to see Venba there. I'm like, oh, it's like such a that's a real indie if you want to talk about indie, right? Games for Impact. Goodness, yeah. And Chance of Sinar, it has to do with people who all speak different languages or something, or can't communicate.
Yeah.
Like they all bring something to it. Like Terra Nil, that's Devolver Digital, but it's like a sim, but you're restoring nature, so it's like an environmentally conscious game. Venba is culture and food. Chia, also cultural. Chance of Sinar and Space for Unbound. But the only one I don't get really, well, I don't know. Goodbye Volcano High. Maybe there's like a coming of age thing. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's coming of age in a pending extinction.
Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Yep.
So I mean,
hipster dinosaurs.
Yeah, pro-social meaning or message. I think they're all very solid representations. Not represented, like they're both all well-deserving.
Yeah. But being biased in the fact that we met the director and had conversations with him, Space for the Unbound. Everyone go vote for it, even if you didn't like it. That's our saving buzzer game right there. We don't care what you vote for. We're voting that one.
All right. I want to address something before we get out of here because we are running long. So we'll do the other topic another week or never. I don't know. Figure it out.
Oh, we will. There's going to be a lot of time between now and the Zelda movie cast gets announced. So plenty of time.
Yeah. But this does have to do with the Zelda movie a little bit. Avi Arad, I just want to name the movies that he's produced. And I want a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you've seen them. Okay. Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Kraven the Hunter.
That's still coming. We can't judge that one.
I know. Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think that was pretty well received. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3. Morbius. The Amazing Spider-Man.
He did all the Spider-Mans. Okay?
Yeah, pretty much every Spider-Man movie he's touched.
So that means he did good and bad Spider-Man.
Both Fantastic Four movies.
Ooh. Wait. When you say both, because there's 3 Fantastic Four movies.
No, the Fox ones, the ones with Chris Evans.
There were two Fox movies.
There's Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer.
No.
Yeah. Rise of the Silver Surfer was the second Fantastic.
Those are Jessica Alba films. I thought you were talking about the ones with Michael B. Jordan.
No, there's only one of those, and he didn't do that one.
Yeah.
I said there were 3, and you said
I'm talking about the original ones.
Okay, thank you.
Jeez,
you threw me off there. I was like, did I miss a movie somewhere? Because I was like, there's 2 Jessica Alba and there's 1 Michael B. Jordan.
The 2003 Hulk film with Eric Bana in it.
Eric Bana.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Elektra. Both.
Elektra was okay. I said okay. I didn't say it was Breakaway or anything.
Did he have the original Daredevil as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both Ghost Rider movies. Blade Trinity. Oof. Blade 2. The new Spider-Man movies. He's producing the Metal Gear Solid movie. He's also producing Borderlands.
Honestly, I would say he's got slightly more good than bad. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, some of the movies here are okay. Like
it's a checkered track record.
Like the first Iron Man movie's on here, but then it's followed up by both of those Punisher movies.
The Tom Jane one was pretty good.
All of the X-Men movies.
I just also feel the fact that Nintendo's going to have a hand in this. I think at worst it'll be okay and safe as well. I think that's the worst case scenario, and the best case scenario, it's mind blowing, which I doubt it will be as well. But at worst, it'll be safe and
Yeah, I think the bar is the Detective Pikachu movie, which was fine. So
weird how you think that one's better than Mario.
I mean, not either of them are winning any awards for me, but
I mean, I like Detective Pikachu as well, but I would have put Mario higher than Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And then I would have put the original Mario all the way at the top, baby.
Mario 93?
Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bob Hoskins was drunk the entire filming of that movie. Did you know that?
I did.
He says his biggest regret in his career in an interview was the Mario movie. Man, personally, both Sonic movies are better than every movie we just talked about. So
I've never watched them.
Oh, the first one's really fun.
I've never watched neither one of them.
Oh my god, dude, Jim Carrey's amazing. I really hope.
Have you ever wanted a Knuckles that sounded like a black British man?
Idris Elba is Knuckles.
See, so I know it's a sexy ass echidna, whatever you call them things. I know it's sexy.
I remember he when he was doing his getting down, he's like, what if we give Knuckles like a Jamaican voice? And people are like, no, just speak your normal voice. Just be Idris, okay?
But I mean, he has dreads though, technically.
Jesus. On that note, we're getting out of here.
Hey!
Check out his rapping career, guys.
Oh no! Help!
Check out his DJ career. Like, that man can spin.
Check out his season of The Office, also.
I know I have the affinity to attract the opposite sex.
Bumper sticker. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching and listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can catch us every Monday. You can get us. You can get early access to some of our shows on Patreon. Also, you have the ability to vote for a book club and After Dark topics and other things.
We have a poll going on right now, right?
Yeah. And guess what? Everybody that's eligible, except for one person, has not voted. And Super Mario RPG for January is winning 4-1.
All right, well, there you go.
What were the other choices?
Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Uncharted 1, Gears of War 1, and what was the last one?
Damn.
What was the other one?
I tell you what, if you guys decide to do Uncharted, let me in.
We're gonna hit it eventually.
That's what she said.
Really like to...
Let me know, because honestly, I will say this every time Uncharted's name comes up on a podcast. Uncharted is the reason why I spent $600 for a PlayStation 3.
Let's see. Super Mario RPG, Gears of War 1, Uncharted. Oh, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is also on that list.
I never beat Senua's Sacrifice, so I don't know if I'd be able to lend my voice to that one.
It's only 6 or 8 hours. Mm-hmm. So, and the only other game that got a vote was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
So, which is kind of what we talked about originally, but
it's okay. We'll go right into Rebirth without talking about Remake.
Also, my plan, so if we do Super Mario RPG in January, a Nintendo game will not appear on the next book club voting because no, I just don't want to do 12 Nintendo games. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
I know.
I get it.
Go ahead.
No, I said I get it.
Oh, just because I know we have a Nintendo heavy audience, but
yeah,
no. Sorry, everybody.
It's like doing an RPG every single time too. So
yeah,
we got to mix it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
I put Uncharted and Gears of War 1 on there because I really want to replay both of those series at some point next year.
I would love an excuse to go back to Uncharted.
Well, that's the thing. It's good to throw in a mix of like new games, retro games, and then also even just the major publisher of games. So I think variety is very good.
Yeah. I also want to do, like, if we're going to do like a not new game, if it has like a sequel coming out, I want to make that like relevant. That's why Final Fantasy VII was kind of the first game that popped into my head when we were discussing it at some point. But
I think Mario would be a fun one, though.
Yeah. Plus, I've never played it, so
Me neither.
Like I said, it'll be a fun one.
I wonder if I should play the original before I play this one.
No.
Okay.
Play this one. It's from what it looks like, it's almost exactly the same.
Okay. Great. Anyways, guys, thank you for your time tonight. Everybody out there, thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching and listening, and until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
So long.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.